Welcome to dvotajarji.com into yet another episode. Almost on a daily basis, I receive calls, WhatsApps, requesting me to take up a student who is already employed somewhere and wants to ameliorate his position or her position, and the promotional avenue will be smooth if he or she has proper soft skill. I have had lot many students, even now having many students who actually are on the path of developing their fluency in English in a coherent manner with great deal of cogency. Why is speaking English in cogent and coherent manner so important? And this is what constitutes 90% of what we call a soft skill. Look, one thing is for sure, your academics will get you hired, but your soft skill will put you on the right stage. Let me explain it a bit. Say you are an engineer, you have come out of a very prestigious college. Of course, you will get a good campusing offer and you will be employed immediately into any organization. This much everyone will come to know. Your neighbors, your relatives, and other people will quickly get to know that you have been absorbed into so and so company after having come out of so and so engineering institute. I am giving just an example. It could be chartered accountant, it could be, you could be a lawyer, you could be for that matter into any other proper vocational or careeristic studies as well. So you could come out of any one of the prestigious colleges having done maybe BBA, MBA, you could be out of IIM, you could be out of XLRI, could be anything. Your academic performance, your academic world, the institute that you have come out of constitutes 90% impression so far as getting initially employed into any organization is concerned. So your first employment will come from your performance in the academic. If your academic curriculum is very much on demand at this point in time, for instance, imagine you have come out of a tech institute in which you have excelled and learned artificial intelligence or blockchain development. Of course, this particular knowledge will entail a tremendous value in you. At this moment, throughout the world, the demand of such knowledge is maximum. Most of the organizations are looking for tech people who are efficient into these fields. So there are always different fields which are much on demand on era basis, on day-to-day basis, on monthly basis, because this demand keeps on changing. Let us imagine whatever you have achieved in your academic or through the institutions, because institutions do have some importance as well. The institutional placement is therefore very much a mode today. Why? Because companies know that these particular institutes in the previous years produced right kind of manpower for them, harnessing whose labor they have been able to multiply their profit. Every organization, every corporate wants to do only one thing: maximize their profit. Today, quarterly performance is measured by everyone, by their stakeholders, I mean the investors, by even the HR managers. Even HR managers on a quarterly basis will assess the performance of the employee. Now, as far as your first step, getting hired, is concerned, it is absolutely dependent on which institute you are coming out of. Secondly, which particular subject you have studied, understandably, which is very much on demand. So these two are the essentialities which will get you hired. Today's discussion is something people don't know. As far as getting hired into an institution is concerned, everyone will come to know. Your college, for instance, will blare it up in order to increase the fees for the next session, because there will be a longer queue trying to get admitted into the institution. So they will advertise saying that we have got 100% placement and the average placement, average salary has been so and so LPA, blah blah. After getting into the job, through the next 10-20 years, where you are going to be, how much you are going to earn, will absolutely depend on your soft skill. So getting initially absorbed into a prestigious institution, organization is one part of your life for which you have fought since class 8, I must say, even before. Over 10 years time, you prepared your academics, you wrapped up your capabilities in particular area and have finally come up into a position where you can command a skill, and that skill set will definitely get you hired into an organization. But after every 3 months, the organization will start assessing your capability very closely. I did HR management in my previous academic years, so I have a bit of idea about how human resource people work. Because as soon as you step into an organization as an employee, your one department which is assigned with the task of assessing your performance and how much can be extracted out of you, that department, that particular cell is called human resource organization or human resource cell. It is in simply put, it is called human resource HR cell. Your HR cell will start scanning you. They will be initially responsible for your campus intake. They will put you under several layers of interviews. They will screen you thoroughly, finally choose you. But when you are put into training and then finally inducted into the final activities, which is the output activities into the organization, they will assess you very scientifically. They have got their big Excel chart dedicated to each of the employees, how much he works, what kind of job has he been able to do, what is the speed of his solving capabilities on a day-to-day basis, particular problems and all. Everything will be put into the Excel chart. It is not that whimsically or arbitrarily any manager will give you the promotion or not allow you to get the promotion. Yes, arbitrary issue is always there to some extent, but mechanical part is so much given stress into that even a manager and your performance, if is proven to be a good one, cannot directly say that you are not capable. So try to understand, human resource people are going to assess you after getting into a company. Now nobody will know where you are going to be after 10 years. Nobody knows whether you are going to be benchmarked. What is benchmarking? I must say, let me pick up one sector called ITES sector, Information Technology Enabled Services sector, which is very much commonly understood and which is the biggest employer as a sector. Think of any big corporates, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant, so on. Their hunger is much. Every year they take in lot of upcoming engineers. My question is, have you ever made the research what happens to them? If a company goes on hiring so many engineers on every year basis, are they going to accumulate there into the organization? How can it be possible? Because manpower cost is the maximum cost for a company. So the company is going to get rid of them. Company's real headache is to lower the number of heads of employees so that the employee cost goes down. That is the extreme and heavy expense on their balance sheet. So all the kids who are going to be employed after passing out of the engineering colleges are not, most of them, going to stay for long. What happens? They put them under rigors of training and work schedule and they observe them. It has been found out that 80 to 90% people are benchmarked in the first year. In the first couple of years, most of them are flushed out. How is this possible? First, they will find out if this boy or girl is capable of producing and giving us the proper output. Once they do, they will segregate them broadly into two parts. One, yes, one can be trained properly and he or she will deliver to some extent. Another part, a bigger chunk, no, he is not quite capable, so let us put him into the waiting list. What is that? Is called benchmarking, which means he or she will stay into the company but on a lower payroll and waiting for some other easy projects to come in where he or she will be employed. But for now she is not given a thorough project, therefore she is not fully working. That kind of people are called benchmarked people. Most of the flushing, I mean throwing out of the throwing the employees out of the organization happens from this side, and they are thrown out of the company on every year basis. You do not know when one entered and when one went out. You just know when one has been hired, absorbed into the company, and therefore you put a clap, lot of accolades, lot of appreciation. But when this man is silently thrown out of the company and he goes on trying other companies to get into them, you do not know the struggle behind them. Today's topic is about what can make you shielded from benchmarking, what can help you get into the safer zone on the side of the employment, so that one, you will not only be able to survive in the company, you will also be able to grow. This growth is in other terms called promotions. So your survival and growth is very much dependent on soft skill. How can one develop soft skill? One, if the parent have spent lot of money during the educational career of the student, then he or she will be given thorough training on English itself by an expert tutor. The tutor will imbibe certain quality in him. One, good speaking capability. Two, the grammar will be very strong, because without grammar, grammar is the foundation, the pillar. So without grammar, your English cannot be convincingly good. And three, vocabulary. Vocabulary means word strength, word power, knowing different words and applying them very effectively into your sentences. So these are the basic three qualities which a very good English tutor, an expert, can insert into the personality of the student. The student will develop the quality of speaking nicely, convincingly, and speaking on any subject that he or she finds interested in, and he or she will be able to write very nice expressive English also. So this English expression, whatever one has in the mind, to put them into black and white, is another quality that is also very much effective here, because you as an officer, you have got to write down the reports, and reports are being sent on a daily basis. So your report writing capability, how convincing it is, how good it is, how much it is going to motivate and convince your authority, is another part that you can use to draw their attention. When you come into the focus of your decisive authority in your organization, there is an authority, there is somebody who is a boss's boss, a boss's boss. So that people, those people, when they see you as an employee very much capable of producing, actually you are not producing, you are simply showing your age old knowledge on soft skill. This soft skills 90% is knowledge of English. Of course, there are many people who contact me for this soft skill development, mostly come from vernacular background. They require to be taught how to write proper grammatically correct sentences. They require to be given the idea about different words and their applications in different sentences, not just parroting. I do not teach so-called spoken English, because I can help a boy or a girl parrot a sentence. That parroting of the sentence may not be applicable in her professional life. So I prepare them right from the background, right from the foundation, that they would be able to convincingly speak, frame their own sentences based on their thoughts. So that part is very much essential for soft skill building. Little bit of soft skill building is also how to insinuate into people, how to make people friendly, how to make yourself not very much flaunting, not very much flashy, yet very much acceptable among your colleagues. Remember, as soon as you enter into an organization, you are surrounded by three layers of people. One is your superiors, they are the authority. One is your inferior. As an officer, you have got a team and you are leading those people who are listening to your commands. So they are also very much necessary, because you have to extract job from them and deliver it properly, wrapping up in a good package to your higher authority, so that the authority remains very happy. You have got lateral people also. That is the third part, which means your own equivalent people, in the same layer. You must have a good connection with them, and this part, this lies having your own capability, having your own position in the organization is very important, that you maintain a good coterie with them. Why? Because these people will leave this company and join some other company, but if you can maintain a personal friendship with them, what will happen? In that case, they will help you get into those companies. Remember, once you enter into a company and the company goes on churning you, obtain your output, that is very much likely that one day the company will continue to give you the benefits that they have been making, but they will not give you the raise, they will not give you the so-called salary hike. Your lateral friends will come into aid, because those people who have left the company and joined some other company must have done so getting a better offer. So you will receive better offer through them, because you are not directly going to get an email from anybody who does not know you. You are going to be referred by some friend who is already an employee, a reliable employee at that, into the organization, and through his overture, through his reference, you will be absorbed into that company with a bigger package. So if you want to make your salary grow, you must change the organizations, and you must be ready to take up the opportunity which is coming along. I mean the offers which are coming along. In order to have that, you must have immediate layer of your colleagues, which are the lateral layers of the colleagues, very closely knit. You must have them as good friends, you must spend some time having partying with them, and you must have a good chatting relationship, calling relationship, almost on a day-to-day basis, because this relationship will definitely take you to extremely high position. I have seen, because I have been teaching all these students for 40 years now, and most of the very old students today are very much on a senior position into different corporate atmosphere. They are constantly in touch with me, and through them I come to know that having this soft skill, having good relationship with the people, will definitely raise your career, because you will leave one country, you will go to another country, you will change the companies, you will get greater responsibilities. By the way, you will also acquire greater skills which is professionally necessary, and in this way, remember, you will become very successful. This is an ingredient. Soft skill is the most essential part to see you through. If you remain mum, if you keep on working and get back home, and if you do not make yourself a good friend among your colleagues, there is very little likelihood that you will be able to survive and grow into this field. Soft skill, therefore, is very essential. How to develop the soft skill? It is extremely hard for people coming from the vernacular background. I mean, those who have studied into local languages and those who does not much have the exposure on English will find it extremely difficult. I have courses made for them. Of course, I help them over a longer period of time, and thoroughly through consistency one can achieve that. That is possible. Soft skill is also necessary though for those people who are convent educated, because mostly the academic students whom I teach come from convent background. It is either Cambridge or Oxford or ICSE or CBSE, mostly from the English background. So they already know English to some extent, but they do not have the grammatical background. I have noticed in the schools they do not much teach grammar. If I ask any student, is your English syllabus for the coming examination complete, he or she will say yes. Now if I tell her, what have you done in the syllabus, he or she will definitely read out the chapters which in the literature she has finished. Literature is not your syllabus. Ironically, from the school it has been pushed into their mind that once you finish the literature poetry, once you complete the fictions in the literature, once your drama is done, you are done for the syllabus. No, the majority of soft skill knowledge comes from your idea, your foundation on grammar and vocabulary. Grammar on one part you should be very good at, flawless. Two, vocabulary, newer words. I must show you one thing. This is a book that I maintain. It's not a book, it's a diary. I still have this diary. I myself write them down here, and there are many words already written here, and I read them on a day-to-day basis. You can see that these words, this diary is complete, this diary is full, and I have written down those words which are not very commonly spoken, but which will definitely raise the writing standard or written standard of your report, of your thing. So this one, maintaining one such diary is very important. Even today, after 40 years of teaching English, I maintain this. I read it whenever I find time, and of course it gives some background of English words coming back to my mind, and then I apply it whenever I speak or whenever I write. So maintaining such a diary for everybody else and reading it from time to time will raise your vocab. Vocab means word power. Your word power will rise. On an average, it has been noticed about some 150 words any English speaker uses the language. But if you can raise it to 400 or 350, then obviously you will speak very suave English, very good English, very perfect English. So this is very, very important that you raise your capability by knowing new words and apply it aptly. Now, how can you apply the words that you have learned? Therefore comes the importance of a guide. You must have a very good mentor, very good guide, one who will teach you how to apply those words in your speech, in your written piece. You will be able to generate the capability of good soft skill and apply it properly in your profession. Of course, that will raise your position in the society, in the organizational society, and finally, the technique of making good friends in an organization is also very much important. But that is something I shall discuss later sometime. If you have liked this video, I would request you to kindly share it among your friends who may need it. Subscribe this channel. You will find many such videos already uploaded based on careers, based on future improvement in the skill and the profession. Also, go to the playlist. There are different sections that will also give you a light about which particular part of video you want to listen to. Thank you for watching. We will meet you soon.